stuff. Just beautiful, beautiful. Good morning, everyone. Another beautiful day in Boulder, Colorado. Hey, I know that everyone is on the path that's in unity. You're on a path to the reality of the presence of God in yourself in order to discover it in everything and everyone. That's what our path is all about. And the one practice that will help you get there as quickly as possible is meditation. And if you're not meditating or you're having a hard time finding that place of divine awareness in meditation, you have the opportunity to attend my meditation class taking place on Wednesday. Wednesday at 7 o'clock, we will be going through a number of different meditation disciplines, and then we'll also be going through a discussion, and we'll be going through about 20 minutes of actual meditation. And it will bring you to understand how to meditate. That's what the whole purpose of this class is. You have missed the first class because I only gave very short notice. First class, and it was $60 for the 5 classes. If you sign up now, it's only going to cost you $44 for the rest of the classes, but you'll be able to receive the first class, will be posted to you online, so you can get it and you can go through it when you're at your leisure. But I suggest to you that if you are not meditating or having a hard time meditating, you can show up and register for this class this Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, and it ends at 8:30. That's going to be more of a thing that will bring you into the enlightened awareness than anything else. All right, you're going to love this talk coming up. Look forward to it.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. Those of us who are joining us here in person and those of us who are joining us online, thank you for spending some time here at Unity of Boulder. We love hanging out with y'all. Got a few quick announcements of upcoming fun events that we're having here starting this week. This Friday, we're going to have a Unity social and dance party over here in Fellowship Hall. We're going to have a DJ, and we're going to have some hors d'oeuvres. So that's from 7 to 9. You don't have to sign up for it. You can just show up. It's just a $10 suggested love offering. But come out, hang out, party with us this Friday night at 7 to 9 p.m. No reason other than let's just have a good time. Starting this week as well, we're going to have a Unity Core Beliefs and Principles weekly workshop led by Steve Hayes. And what this is it's just a weekly workshop for people who are either new to Unity or even people who've been coming here for a long time and maybe just want a refresher in what are the core beliefs and principles of Unity and how it was founded and all that kind of stuff. That's another thing you don't have to sign up for. You can just show up this Thursday at 6:30 over in Fellowship Hall. Same thing, $10 suggested love offering. Definitely come check that out. We are having our conscious communication class today downstairs at 1 p.m. That's led by Steve Hayes. And this is a class, it's just a drop-in class where if you're having trouble in your life that you're communicating with, or you're having trouble with the way they communicate with you, this is a great opportunity to bring that issue up and speak about it in a group setting with a well-trained conscious communication leader, Steve Hayes. And same thing as the last two, it's just a suggested love offering of $10, and that's from 1 to 3 p.m. today downstairs in our YOU room. And last but definitely not least, we want to say thank you to everyone who voted for Unity of Boulder to be the best house of worship in Boulder County. I don't know how many years in a row, but we won. Yeah! It's an awesome honor to win it. It also puts our name out there a lot further. If anyone gets the daily camera and you want to give your copy to one of us, none of us get the daily camera, so none of us have seen the ad. But But yeah, so that is an absolute win and a big, huge deal for us and the entire community of Unity of Boulder. So thank you very much. All right.
Good morning. We believe. This is the prayer point in the service. And there's prayer sheets in front of you. If you're facing a challenge right now, or a friend or family member is facing a challenge, you can write their name down. And Steve Sheets, who's the head of our prayer team, will come and collect them down this aisle. So if you have some on these aisles, let's pass them down to the center aisle. We're going to sing this song. We're bringing our energy into this room. We're leaving the world outside, remembering our true nature, our divine Christ nature, and we're calling that into this room at this moment. And so it is.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. I would love to offer this confirmation, affirmation, reality check of a song that we've done many times. God is all there is, Alpha, Omega, everything in between. My wings were heavy, I could not fly, haunted by dreams that were meant to come true. Love was there, I could not see it, so the voice of salvation came shining through you, and you said, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be. In the sky of my mind was lightning and thunder. I never could trust it could finally be right. The truth in your eyes said, don't worry, don't wonder. You sang me your song that has shattered the lies, and you said, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be, God is all there is. to do. Your compassion planted a seed in my life. Now the flowers in me. All the time I'm singing. All the time I'm singing. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. Sing with me. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. Break it down. God is all. So beautiful. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. Here we go. God is all. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. Thank you so much for singing and believing that with me. Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. Oh, we are so blessed to have a voice like Marcy's in the house. Oh my goodness, we had the most amazing weekend here at Unity. We had some Nottingham car in the building for the last 3 days, and the last 2 nights it packed the entire room with just chanting and singing and meditating. And usually on a Sunday morning, I go around the building with Palo Santo or sage just to really clear any energies and get it ready for people to be invited into this sanctuary, into this holy space. But this building was floating for the last 2 days, just filled with love and light in a way that I haven't seen it in a long time, probably since our last Easter show or something like that. But it felt like we were back on the map, you know, like it was just a celebration. So I'm still floating from that experience last night. So my talk title is called Freedom from Attachment. And I wrote this sermon obviously on Thursday. I always say I write them on Thursdays, and I don't know if this talk will end up be about that. A lot has changed after being with Sonata Carr, because she just moved me back into my heart and into my just heart vibration. You know, as I didn't realize how much, you know, you don't realize how disconnected we can get from our heart because of the busyness of life and of the world, you know. Having 2 teenagers and overseeing this place and all the many factors of my life, it's so hard to find that just presence. I do my meditation, I feel like in my heart, but something sunk me really back. You know, it was one of those experiences when she was singing at one point. I was sitting up in the, we call it the Eagle's Nest. It's where all the technical stuff is. And I was sitting with Marcy. We were sitting together. And it was just a rush of just pure love, hearing 500 people singing her chants with her, and just the divine nature of this woman, This woman is exactly what she shares in her music. Watching her walking around here, dealing with groupies that follow her from place to place, and her band, just the prayerful respect for everyone that she works with was just a vision. Everything about the whole experience was special. So when I was talking about freedom from attachment, I think, I'm working on my prosperity class. I'm teaching it right now, and as you know, we are teaching what we need in life, right? I needed to get back to the prosperity work, considering the situation where Unity is right now. We're growing, we're doing better, slowly but surely. But freedom of attachment is an actual law of attraction ideal. And we don't realize that when we're in attachment, we are holding on tight. We're in a state of no flow. The flow has left us at that point, right? So attachment is just, we have to cover our bills, and we have to make sure that there's gas in the car. We have to make sure there's groceries. It's like that kind of there's like a panic. There's an attachment that things have to come around the way we conceptually can take it in. And there's a real lack of God or love in that, right? So this statement may seem that our wanting for something more is missing the spiritual ideal. However, if you were to come to understand that by freeing yourself of attachment, you immediately align with the one true powerful energy that produces and gives you all of your good. Right? So we have to kind of be with that idea that we think some distant outcome will finally bring this inner peace, this inner loving resonance. And in the midst of us right here and right now, we can attain all of it right here, right now. So in the book Love Without Conditions by Paul Ferrini, he says it this way: when the heart opens, it is filled with love, and its ability to give and receive is no longer based on anything external. It gives without thought of return, because giving is the greatest gift. And it receives not for itself alone, but that others may experience the gift too. There's a collective, beautiful experience right there, right? We don't even realize that the giving is always bringing back the receiving, but when we're in a state of attachment, we don't believe that there's enough supply. We don't believe in this abundant, opulent universe that is always looking for the space within us that is able to receive, and a lot of times it's because we're not able to receive, because we've lost our faith in this greater power, this greater love we call God, source, spirit, whatever word makes you feel connected to this expanded knowledge, this expanded love that is within us. Remember that heaven's within the midst of us. So all the outpicturing comes from here, right? He goes on to say this, that the laws of this world no longer limit men or women whose heart is open. And so miracles happen not through any special activity, but merely as an extension of love itself. When we free ourselves of the cumbersome, heavy load of our fear-based wanting, we align with the nature of God here in this moment. For the mind of God is innocent and all-giving. It cannot withhold its supply from you, for you are part of it. You are part of it, and it knows not as separate. Like a parent looking upon its only child, it looks upon you with steadfast love and affection. So in this letting go of attachments, you're making room for your good to flow into your life. And a lot of times we think we have to dictate and demand how that is supposed to flow into our life. And again, we're still in attachment. We're in attachment of how that flow is going to come into our life. And if it's not something that we can think of, it's only going to be something better. If it's not this, it's something better. The universe is honorable, it's bigger, it's got a bigger picture for our life unfoldment. And we let go of those reins. When we let go of those reins, when we let go of that resistance, and we move back here, and just getting that feeling place of just this giving and receiving into this flowing. You know, you look at your relationship with your spouses and your children, and if you're giving and loving, then there's a lot of love reciprocated by that. Look at your animals. If you really, like, they're the source and center of your life, like my dog. He's overly giving me love all the time, and it's the most wonderful relationship. So I always use him as an example, like, why is it so easy for me just to give him everything? Because he just so naturally, without any attachments, just gives it all to me because I'm his center of his world. It's the same thing with all of us. We're in oneness. We're all omnipresence. We're all connected. Right? And collectively, we should be walking across the threshold together in this release and let go. No more resistance, walking hand in hand into the life that we've all been desiring, and yet that desire is God tapping on the door for something more, but then we have to let go of attachments again. Prosperity consciousness is now a state of surrender. That's what's changed. It used to be, prosperity consciousness used to be a state of will. We'd will it, and it worked before, and it doesn't anymore. And so we all are wondering why we can't get things to shift and flow and move. It's a softening, it's a growing, because we've all been on this quantum leap from the old way of consciousness that worked in a world of greed and selfishness. And it doesn't work anymore. We can't conform to a world that works that way. We're changing the vibration of the world right now, and we are the ones that are the leaders of it. We are the ones. We have been the ones that have been called to be the leaders of this, right? You know, this idea of the second coming of Christ is us. We have to live it. We have to be it. We have to resonate as it, right? So again, he goes on to say this. But first, before he says that, he says, reach out and receive these gifts. It calls to you. So when you see the gifts, receive it. That is another part, right? So we say what we'd really like, or what is an urge that we're feeling, but then we surrender it and we let it go. Let Spirit come in and bring it into our life exactly the way it's supposed to. But then we have to be able to reach out and receive these gifts. This is a big part of the prosperity class that I teach, because I always have a receiving exercise where everybody writes their name on a piece of paper and it goes in a basket. And at the end of the night, I pull a name, and then there's a gift for them. And it's a gift that I can track that they actually use it. But I've had one class that the same woman out of 50 people that were in the class got the receiving exercise. Right? It doesn't really work if this is an abundant universe that's trying to give to us, but then we're not willing to receive the gifts of the universe. Because a lot of us have been kind of taught to be humble and almost be bashful about receiving. Like it's really a kind of self-esteem to receive from the universe. We have to believe that we are worthy. We have to believe and know that we are a perfect child of God. And how else can the universe supply our lives if we don't believe that we are worthy of a better experience? So that's a big part that we have to take to task. As you learn to be open to the present moment, you'll become increasingly aware of the divine presence in your mind and experience. Your personal goals will open up in this expanded consciousness, helping you to understand how you can best be of help to yourself and others. Circumstances will unfold before your eyes. The appearance will often seem perplexing, but you will not judge. You will not find fault with yourself or with others. You will learn to surrender to the situation at hand, doing the best that you can and resting in the strength of your own surrender. More and more, you will entrust the outcome to God and know that your gift is always acceptable as it is. It is always enough. Basically, it's saying you'll be covered beyond what you could even dream for yourself. But again, it's surrender, and really attachments are the same thing. Surrender is the practice of going down the river in the raft, as Esther Hicks says, and most of us are going up the river, pushing up against it because we're not trusting, and we're trying to find where the doors open, and we're working so hard, and we're mentally straining ourselves, and we're in fight or flight, and we're in worry, and we're out of control because we're trying to do it by ourselves. And it's the state of letting go of those oars and letting that boat go down the river of life, of eternal life, of prosperous life, and letting it help us land where we're meant to be next, right? And in that process, we stay in the power of now, stay with our meditation, stay where we are divinely open, divinely loved, divinely seen, precious children of this greater love. So we have to know that your gift is always acceptable as it is. It is always enough. The first part is surrendering our attachments to outcomes. You know why? Because God already knows what you need before you even ask. So all this fearful asking, all the panicking in our meditations, trying to get resolve, and we're not finding the resolve, you can't find the resolve there. Spirit is bigger than this. Spirit is bigger than all of it. There's a divine purpose for each and every one of you, and there's a perfect divine purpose that collectively heals everything. Not just your own life, but your family's life and your beyond, like beyond your neighbors, beyond your neighborhood. It's a universal need. You are needed. But you first have to let go and know that you're worthy. So there is a really great example of this kind of surrender and allowance in the show Alone. I've talked about the show Alone from the last season, and I just watched the new season all the way through and just feel a real kinship with these types of outdoors people. It was 6 of the Alone's strongest trained survival experts that went head-to-head in the wilderness in Labrador, Canada. To watch these people face the most dire and dangerous elements, and when having to procure clean water, food, firewood, build a shelter, and watch the mindsets they hold as they are filming themselves. So there's nobody out there with them. It's like, in these survival shows, there's usually people, actually cameramen and everything. So there's somebody to actually swoop in if you get bit by something or whatever. There is nobody. They have no one with them, and they are sent into Labrador in the middle of winter, which is the biggest. They've never done this before. Usually they have a month season heading into winter to build the shelters and completely live off the earth with absolutely nothing but a striker thing to make fire, the little flint thing. And this time there were 3 women and 3 men that went into this adventure. And you'll find that the people that are these outdoorsmen are very spiritual people. They don't use the word God, but they use the word source. They use creator. They use all the words that we have to lean on when we are completely out of control and we're looking to be divinely taken care of. And what an ultimate test to have to find your water, your food, your shelter, your heat, your safety. They have to hunt, they have to fish, they have to do all these things, and it's just an amazing thing. There's a lot of hunting, so I'll give you a heads up for that part. That part I just close my eyes when they're having to hunt little animals, but beyond that, as the weeks go on, the language gets deeper and deeper that come from these people, as they have become and softened into this earth to have to rely completely on God and their outdoorsman skills, right? So they have no other people to bounce ideas off of or to watch as they navigate from the only place beyond their skill set, a place of allowance, a deep gratitude practice when receiving a meal through hunting, fishing, etc. Their lives are literally on the line while you watch and hear the profound content they share with us on the days they are starving and on the days they overcame a major obstacle as they set out each day. They speak to the ancestors asking for guidance, looking for signs from the universe for next steps. It's a total life of trust and faith for all the needs that they need to survive out there. And they are high consciousness people. You can see on their bad mental days how nothing comes to them. And when they get stirred up with their love of these adventures, how everything falls into place. I love a show that you're literally watching the spiritual unfoldment, right? It's slower. It's a slow-paced show, but it's like meditating. To watch something that we all innately could do, right? I was in Outward Bound in my senior year in high school, and the outdoors was the survivalist thing. I loved every bit of being a part of that. And then I went on a journey for days by myself in nature, and it's one of the most powerful experiences of my life. But I think that's why I'm attracted to, but also watching women doing it, because it always used to be really men that are really doing this, and there's these women. So just want you to hold that space. We're going to go into this slide, and then I'm going to talk about the winner. I'm going to ruin the show for you. Huh? Are we having problems? All right, I'll just go on. I'll just read this slide. This is from Charles Fillmore. Oh, I didn't want that yet. This is from Charles Fillmore in the book Prosperity, who is our co-founder of Unity. Let us realize this law of unfolding substance and get busy to fulfill it in ourselves by developing our understanding and appreciation of it. We should pray for just as much each day as we need or can handle. So there's a balance in what we're asking for right here. Give us this day our daily bread is a prayer that conforms to the divine law and answers itself. Infinite mind has a lawful way for providing its children the supply for all their needs. Nothing is left to chance. God feeds the birds of the air and clothes the lilies of the field. And he will feed and clothe us unless we make it impossible by our refusal to accept God's bounty. Paul in the Bible said that the fulfilling of the law is love. The fulfilling of the law is love. So what do we do to land in that kind of expanded experience of love, right? So the woman that won this season, she's the first woman that's won one of these outward bound moments. Her name is Wania the Belt. I noticed something she said that stood out to me early in the weeks of this competition, and I wrote it down while I was watching this show. Because she was on alone before, every one of them had to be on, and she made it 74 days in the Arctic, icy world, where she tapped out and didn't win. She said this season, and I quote, and I wrote this down. Last time I knew coming in, I wasn't comfortable with the idea of winning. And this time, I believe it's what I'm supposed to do. Nobody else said that out of all the people. That quote right there. I believed it's what I'm supposed to do, right? That belief that she could do this time. Last time she had this limited belief. She didn't have to go as far as she did last time because she went 78 days. She only had to go 50 days. And the goal this time on the show is that the 6 people, if they make it all the way to the end in 50 days, in the worst climate situation, they get to split the pot of $500,000. Okay, but the last one standing will get all of it if there's only one, right? So she went on to say that this life is not for the faint of heart. When she had completed the 50-day challenge, the goal was whoever made it to the end without tapping out would split the $500,000 prize. And while Wania was waiting for the helicopter to pick her up on her completion day, which she didn't know how many people had made it through, she never mentions winning any money at all. She's just proud of herself that she made it to the end this time. And she goes to the top of this mountain where she was living and builds a gorgeous rock statue to pay gratitude. This is a picture of her. I took this picture off my TV. Builds a gorgeous rock to pay gratitude to her ancestors that stayed with her and guided her to the land of Labrador. These are from her words. For so lovingly and welcoming her to the land, for providing the food, the shelter, the deep spiritual and inner healing work that happened for her on this journey. She said, I'm so excited to go home, and I'm going to miss this place. This life and this experience is so much, and it's bittersweet. She goes on to say that she has achieved her goal. And then her husband appears coming off the helicopter to let her know she was the last one standing and she won the $500,000 prize. She couldn't believe it. She went on to say that it was heartbreaking. Listen to these words. She went on to say that it was heartbreaking that the other trained survival experts didn't make it, whom are a close-knit group, and said, I really wanted to walk across the threshold with them. This is what it's all about, right? We live in this competitive world that we're trying to get ahead of someone else. When we are this collective experience, to know that she just won this money but would have liked to have rather walked across the threshold with her sisters and brothers with this kind of creative passion or this earthly passion that they have in this world. She then went on to say that, which would have been a lot less money for her to win, but went on to say it's incredibly validating that so many people who are so skilled were not able to make it to the end, and I was able to do it. It's just so overwhelming. Then when the producer asked her, how does it feel to be the first woman to win alone? And this is her. She just broke down crying and started crying, saying that she got to be the mentor of a woman in this world for other women that she could never find in her lifetime. So I share this story because I kind of feel like we've all been out in the wilderness trying to find a way to survive over the last years. You know, I think that the tide has changed and the world has changed, and we found ourselves here. We've been through so much, and now we're trying to find the language and the vibration and all of the ways that we have to go about to really make a joyful and peaceful life again. And the world can become very distracting, and we can get very lost in it. When it is as simple as thanking our ancestors for guidance. It's as simple as letting go and just trusting that God has this. Meditating on that. Listening to music like Sonatum Car and listening to and seeing this collective of people that just love music. And to bask in that vibration and have 500 people in here singing back to her while she's just like in chills and she's sending those chills back, and this, to be part of this collective, to insert ourselves into the collective spiritual movement. Because we learn from the mirroring from all this light of others. You can't avoid it anymore. You can't be anything less than that. It's contagious. It's a beautiful thing. And one of the quotes she gave us was this one. I'll tell you what freedom is to me. No fear. No fear. That's not a tall order. No fear. But is it a tall order? How many people are walking around in fear in their lives right now? Too many of us, right? And it could be because you're going through a divorce. It could be because you're going through single parenting. It could be because you're in a transition in work. It could be anything. You know, everybody's in a changing cycle right now. So it's not like you're all alone in this. We all are having big changes in our lives, right? And when we realize that we're in this together, then we will go to the discussion groups after the service and share what we're going through and start mirroring for each other how we can help each other through this. Nobody has to be left behind while we're all collectively coming into our inner golden power. Right? So it's really taking to task what is in us, how we can develop it, how we can surrender to it, and then we have to trust. Trust the process. So this is our job. This is the ultimate and the only one. You can work on this for a year. You can work on this for the rest of your lives. This is the most important thing that we can hear and take it in and expound upon it. And then hopefully meditate on it. Heaven is inside the very midst of you. Heaven is inside of your heart chamber, and when we have access and when we have the privilege to have access, we have these types of keys and codes and access to them. It is our job to hold that grid of heaven on the earth at this time, no matter what you are facing, no matter what you have to go through, no matter how difficult, no matter how challenging. This is something that I can talk about, we can keep talking about, but in unity, and it says it in the Bible, heaven is in the very midst of you. It's in you. all this development, all this wanting, all this urges is because the universe is saying there is a heaven for you. And you get to attain that kind of peace and joy and exuberance and excitement and adventure and all the things that you're feeling. If you'll stop resisting, you're good. It's praying and sitting in the prayer of recognizing the heaven is in the midst of us, and that's never been taken from us. COVID didn't take that from us. It could never take it from us. It's not even a possibility. It's just that the world got a hold of our minds. It got a hold of our world and our hearts, and it did some damage in separating us and making us judge each other because we all took different roads with vaccines and not vaccines and going into public places and not public places and all that stuff. Are we ready to stop going backwards and now going forwards? Because the big collective we learned is we wanted community. We wanted to be together. We wanted to flow together, right? Our opinions about how we handle all that, let's just stop all that murkiness. We are one. We are spiritual beings in this omnipresent world that collectively works with us connected in oneness. Darkness in this world would want to separate us, trust me. Because united we stand spiritually. We have so much more power in numbers. When one or two people pray together, that is when miracles happen, right? This isolating our own spiritual thing on our own is lonely, and it's not the same. It's about this expandedness. It's about these group meditation services that we hold. It's about the prosperity class, and everybody's interacting and sharing how they're going to overcome their issues, and they're getting excited. And all I hear is laughter the whole time they're doing their paperwork from the prosperity class. Here's a good example for us to understand how we can get back to our good. There's an old Cherokee who is teaching his grandson about life. A fight is going on inside me, he said to the boy. It is a terrible fight, and it is between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. He continued, the other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person, too. The grandson thought about it for a minute and then asked his grandfather, which wolf will win? And the old Cherokee simply replied, the one you feed. The one you feed. And so this is why we meditate. They say to pray is to talk to God, and to meditate is to receive the message from God. Right? We can pray, we can put it out there, which we know is not changing God in any way, shape, or form. When we pray, we're aligning with this greater power that we already are, and then we watch ourselves in the law of attraction bringing the healings to our prayers, right? Putting something out there that we need, and the universe gives it back to us because we believe so deeply that we were worthy and that we were enough to receive greater and greater love in this world. I'm going to leave you with this quote. In Luke 12:32, it says, "It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. You are the very expression of God, and it is His ceaseless longing to fulfill you as a total person. You ask for your good in the sense of claiming your inheritance, drawing upon your spiritual reserves with the same confidence as drawing from your abundant savings account. So stepping into the freedom from a world of no attachments and moving into the heart and expanding outward that which is the perfection of you, hitting every corner of this earth and every corner of your inner being, and watch everything expand, heal, grow, thrive, bless, all of it. All right, blessings, love you. We'll take an offering for unity now.
We definitely live in a world where there's a lot of chaos and conflict, but there is a path, and there is a light and a truth that is available to us to meet that and transform our lives and the world. And that is the vision here of unity. And one thing I appreciate about unity is that science and spirituality can go together. And science tells us these days that in order for anything to evolve, it needs community. So today, when we are asking you to donate, we're asking for the world, we're asking for a place that's wanting to provide that community for everyone, but also for yourself. Are you ready to have that flow and that light and that truth in your lives? Then please donate financially, volunteer. We have so many opportunities and different ways to give. So thank you for being part of this community.
We keep sharing the ideal that exists within each of us, this divine consciousness. There is a place within us, if we do the practice, that divine consciousness takes over. It has priority and it has control then over the limited ego-centered idea that we grew up with and lived our lives with all those years. And the straightest, quickest path to alignment with your divine self is through meditation. I am giving a meditation class on Wednesday evenings at 7 o'clock. You missed the first class, but it will be posted to you online, and you can take it at your leisure. But you can take the next 4 classes, which will give a different way to meditate in every class, and we will do the meditation, and we will discuss it. You will know how to make that connection when you take this class. And because you've already missed one session, you can pay $44. It was $60 to begin with. You'll get that class to take at your leisure, but you'll get the next 4 classes, and it will be the thing that will make your life divine as you have sought it to be. That's my promise to you. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, show up, get involved. Take our offerings in our hands right now. Let's bless them with this offering statement. Divine love through me then multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. So it is. And we have Marcy to share her incredible music.
We got our kiddos from the
Oh, our
Sunday
kiddies.
school coming up. Come on, guys.
All right, our Sunday schoolers. Yeah, you can continue to make the offering.
They are walking with a toe, heel, and they look at the earth, so they don't step on any of the creatures of the earth. So, okay, let's get into a circle. In the circle. All right, here we go. Uwate leno maute, hi-yo, hi-yo, hi-yo. Uwate leno maute, hi-yo, hi-yo, hi-yo. Let me be one with the infinite one, forever and ever and ever. Let me be one with the infinite one, forever and ever and other way. Here we go. Uwate leno maute, hi-yo, hi-yo, hi-yo. Uwate leno maute, hi-yo, hi-yo, hi-yo. Let me be one with the infinite one, forever and ever and ever. Let me be one with the infinite one forever and ever and ever. All right. Let's go down.
After this service, will you all teach me that song? I would love to learn it. I want to learn it. Awesome. Okay. Well, we've done this one so many times, but I love having a soundtrack to my life because I always come back to my favorite songs, and I hope that this is one of yours too, because we will do amazing things together, 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 together. Give me the key one more time. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, you all. You will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is here in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Here we go. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Oh, yes, you will. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. All the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will
we want to let you know that we have prayer partners available to you after the service. You can just stay seated, and the prayer partners with the prayer shawls on will come and find you and pray with you after the service. And we're also having a discussion group about 5 minutes after the service in the back of the sanctuary that I'll be leading for about 25, 30 minutes. So come and join me for the discussion group. Otherwise, going to have refreshments and all that good stuff outside. But we're going to be down here. We're all going to watch the kids lead us and let there be peace in us. Let's all stand, though. All right. Just start playing more of that. Yeah, we're good. All right, you guys, thank you for coming. We'll see you Wednesday or Tuesday. We got a lot of things going on this week. Join us for all of it.